28 minutes after the 6 o'clock hour. This is where we say good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. It's Good Morning Grenada for today, Friday, the 23rd day of May 2025. Hope everyone is doing fine. It's a good day to have a good day in a good way. Always remember that. Good morning to you, Yolan Swan, Veronica Sandy, Yulin Alexander. I'm yet to see Mary E. Banks. Good morning to you, Mildred Smith and Shem. Good morning, Lydia James. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Monica Miros Williams, yes, good morning. Hope all is well. 27 minutes after 6 o'clock, on to 7 o'clock actually. It's Friday, just had a little drizzle down here. What's the weather like? Arnold Grant, good morning. Lydia, not Lydia, but early and all in the U.S., good morning to you. And of course, as is customary, I'm going to give you that quotation, that daily quotation from my good friend. Yet I cannot remember his name. Could you imagine that? Let me tell you what it says this morning. It says, Friday blessings. Call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. May the Lord guide you always, and may he satisfy all your needs and the needs of your family. May the mercy, peace, and love of God be yours in abundance in Christ Jesus' precious and mighty name. Happy weekend and good morning. That's one of his quotations. He usually sends two. Let me see the other one. Happy Friday. May God bless all your hard work from Monday to Thursday. He will strengthen you to end the week with great joy and satisfaction. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Stay blessed. Thank you, and same to you, my good friend. Yep. The favor. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope all is well. Dancing time, yeah? Nice.
Holy Spirit, take my soul.
Sylvina Charles, good morning. Innocent, missed you yesterday. Yes. Mildred is with us finally. Good morning. Mildred, how is Shem doing? Joyous James, good morning, Mr. Innocent and everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah. 25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. As we get into the word of the day today, that word today is stagnant. Stagnant. And it is spelled S-T-A-G-N-A-N-T. S-T-A-G-N-A-N-T. Stagnant means not moving or flowing. In other words, inactive. Stagnant. Here's how we can use that word in a sentence. The stagnant water became a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Yeah, we can identify with this one, right? Nice. Stagnant. Good morning to all the wonderful folks on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and PD Martinique. Hope you all are doing fine. Reverend Samuel Caesar, I'm certain that you're still in the Southern Grenadines. I trust that you will pay us a visit here at the GBN, because from all indications you are a partner station in the US Crossroads Radio. So you've got to show your face. We've got to link up, right? Lovely.
My God is.
Always remember that He is.
My God is worthy to be praised.
Yeah.
My God is. My God is. My God is. My God is. My God is.
Nadisha, good morning to you. The folks inside of Cafe and surrounding areas. The Sandersons, good morning. The folks at Village Bakery. Kitty Cat, Alwyn, Ariel, Moyaki, and the folks in Mamakan. Kingman Ajamo, good morning as always. Mami Lyris, good morning. Rastiba and family. Nonetheless, this is Debbie, good morning. How are you and the family doing, bro? Hoping all is well. Nadisha, this is your segment. Good morning, Miss G and Miss Holmes and everybody. Limit negative influences. Cut out negativity. Limit time with toxic people and negative thoughts. Alright, these thoughts will drain your energy. So cut out negativity. Limit time with toxic people and negative thoughts that drain your energy. I don't think it's the first time you're hearing me say that, right? No, certainly not. Reverend Caesar asks, who is paying for my appearance, sir? Okay, we'll figure that out. Jelly and McIntyre, Mr. Innocent, we missed you yesterday morning. Yes. Nice. Birthday greetings going out to Jemiah Chris in Laborie. Jemiah Chris in Laborie, you're celebrating 8 years today. You've got greetings coming out from your grandmom, Sylvina Charles. Hoping all is well. Lana Fletcher is with us. Good morning, Lana. Lauren Salim, good morning. How are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Sister Jones, you all right? Pastor Laurie Dominic and the First Family and the extended family of the Westerhall New Testament Church of God. Good morning.
Holy Spirit, take my soul.
Gangster Cop, good morning, sir. How are you doing? Rondell Williams, Donnell Williams, Rondell Williams. Yeah. Godfrey Simeon. Destined to win overcomer says, blessed morning, everyone. Nice. 21 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour. Let's see what's buzzing this morning. All right, the busy hurricane season expected as forecasters fear Trump cuts. Yep. That's on the locals in. You'll hear Jerry Tamer speaking on that. In the region, the U.S. ambassador to Guyana reaffirms commitment to transparent and peaceful elections. Internationally, Jewish museum shooting suspect mistaken for witness in the U.S. And in sports, final matches in the GCIC Intersector Windball Cricket Competition bowls after day. I'm betting on teachers. Hospital might win. Lovely. So those are the buzzing stories at this time. Yeah, hopefully we'll have, well, not hopefully, we definitely will have these and more in newscast coming up shortly. There's no doubting that this guy that we can see, he is a miracle worker. He's a vindicator, and you know, I'm certain that you heard the stories, right? Oh my goodness. Grenada is becoming so toxic with, you know, gossip and hypocrisy and fake news, as Trump would say. But nonetheless, time has a way of dealing with the things, all right? That, you know, yeah. As my grandmom always said, if you have patience, you would see ants' belly. And the longest road has an end. The longest prayer has an amen too. So I urge you this morning, despite what you are going through, the pressures of life are real, you know. The world has become a very evil place where people wish and want only bad things for others. As my good friend from Carriacou, Risha, would say, people like ugly for people. But you know what? When you know that you know that you know that you know, yeah, there's no stress, there's no worry. All right. 19 minutes on to 7. It's a good day to have a good day to have a good day in a good way. Yeah, nice. Happy birthday to Suzanne Mason. Susan, happy birthday to you. Hope you're doing fine. I don't know where you are, but happy birthday to you. The folks in Guave, good morning. The western side, they say it's the fishing capital of the nation, but I believe Granville is. Nonetheless, the Sunset City, Victoria, good morning to the folks in Non-Pariel. Desmond and the guys. Duquesne, good morning. Resource, good morning to Silo and family. Folks, the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Do I have to tell you, I'm committed to us.
She made me feel some measure of warmth, maybe even passion.
If I decide to do this, I'll be doing it for you, no one else.
Labukan presents Rivals, playing at Labukan Creative Center, GCNA Complex, all weekends in May, Saturdays 8 p.m., Sundays 6 p.m., and Deluxe Cinema Grenville, Saturday, June 7, 8 p.m. Tickets from Grenadian Optical, Labukan, St. Andrew's Pharmacy, and Go to Fit at $75. Sponsors Bryden and Miners Limited, Knights Auto, Sandals, GBN, Republic Bank, Trios Auto, Corp Bank, and Huggins. It's Rivals by Francis Uriah Peters. Don't you miss it.
You better come back, boy. You better come back.
GBN presents the 2025 Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, June 7th, Mon Rouge Plain Field from 11 a.m. Our partners, Maggie, the secret of great flavor, Grenada Distillers Limited, makers of Clark's Court, Grenada's #1 rum, Grenada Paper Products, makers of Cherish, Spring Soft, Harbour Bay, and Super Value Toilet Paper, and Royal, Quick and Easy, and Horizon Paper Towels, Budget Foods Inc., Classic Lighting, and Blue Bubbles PA Rental and Event Supplies. It's the 2025 Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Coming up in the news, a busy hurricane season expected as forecasters fear Trump's cuts. In the region, U.S. Ambassador to Guyana reaffirms commitment to transparent and peaceful elections. Internationally, Jewish museum shooting suspect was mistaken for witness in the U.S. And in sports, the final matches in the Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce Intersector Windball Cricket Competition, well, it bowls off today. We've got the details to these and more after these messages.
Grenada, the road to greatness continues. Catch the senior men's national team live at the Karani James Athletic Stadium for 2 thrilling football clashes. Saturday, May 31st, it's a fiery international friendly as Grenada takes on Anguilla, just $20 admission. Then on Wednesday, June 4th, it's our FIFA World Cup qualifier versus the Bahamas, $25 admission. Both matches kick off at 7 p.m. sharp. Come dressed, come loud, come proud. Style your national team, bring your posters, and show the world you are the 12th man. Let's pack the stadium, flood the stands, and roar together. Get your tickets now at the official GFA ticket outlets, go to Fed.com, or at the gate. Let's stand proud with Team Grenada. One island, one team, one goal.
Good morning. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. The coming Atlantic hurricane season is expected to be busier than usual. U.S. science agency, the NOAA, has warned, just as cuts to American research are raising fears about the ability to track and prepare for these often deadly storms. Between 6 and 10 hurricanes are forecasted for the Atlantic between June and November, compared with the typical 7. Warmer sea temperatures, made more likely by climate change, and generally favorable atmospheric conditions are behind the forecast. Several scientists have said that widespread firings by President Donald Trump's administration of government researchers could endanger efforts to monitor hurricanes and predict where they may hit. Through its international collaborations, the NWS supports various countries and regions, including Grenada, by providing weather forecasts, climate outlooks, and, in some instances, training programs. In a recent conversation with Gerard Tamer, the manager of meteorology at the Grenada Airports Authority, he said, although it is a wait-and-see approach at this time, there is no need for persons to be alarmed. We have more in this report.
We are not sure if the type of services would change or if we would be still allowed access to the information, and that's the important thing. I don't think that the services would change, because we have to remember that the United States is our neighbors, and generally what affects us, especially with tropical cyclone developments, normally affects them. So I think they wouldn't want to be shooting themselves in the foot. The question is whether or not we may have the sort of access we have now to those products. And that
Today's 2025 Atlantic Season Outlook covers the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, called the Gulf of America by the Trump administration. In total, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that's the NOAA, expects between 13 and 19 named tropical storms. Of these, between 6 to 10 could become hurricanes, including 3 to 5 major ones, meaning they reach Category 3 or above, with winds 111 miles per hour or more. Now, that's not as many as last year's very active season, which saw 18 tropical storms, including 11 hurricanes, of which 5 were major hurricanes. But it's more than the long-term average of 14 named tropical storms a year, of which 7 are usually hurricanes, with 3 major ones among them. The Ministry of Social Development is this week hosting representatives from the World Bank through its Technical Assistance Facility to update Grenada's Living Conditions Index. This was developed to ensure transparency in the selection of beneficiaries and a more accurate selection process in the seed program. Prior to this engagement, the World Bank senior protections economist Clement Avila and the CLCI consultant paid a courtesy call on Minister for Social Development Gloria Thomas.
We have situations where sometimes people are over 80 and they have no other social benefit, but they're not getting onto the program. And we wondering what adjustments could we make to accommodate persons, these elderly persons who have no other income. This is a concern for us. Even persons with disabilities, sometimes they don't get on. And that is a concern for us. So those little adjustments, if we could incorporate them some way or the other to catch here and to take care of those persons, that would be a big step forward.
Avila said while Grenada is doing better than some countries, there are still some matters that need to be resolved.
Identify cases actually they cover that gap. So while Grenada is one of the countries that perhaps is doing better than that in some of the other countries in the region there is still a coverage gap, even if we do not consider the recent shocks. And like you said, with the recent shocks, COVID, inflation, Hurricane Barrier, and others, exactly. Yes, and others, that probably the number of persons living below the poverty line probably has increased, right? And so we agree with your take to see if it's possible to include additional.
And that story concludes the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, along with the sports and the weather, they are straight ahead. Turning our attention now to the region, we focus on the southern neighbor Guyana. As Guyanese await the date for the holding of regional and general elections, there is a word from the United States ambassador to Guyana, reaffirming her country's commitment to transparent and peaceful elections in that country. We have more in this.
The United States is keeping a close eye on the run-up to general and regional elections here in Guyana, and the U.S. ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Theriot, is reaffirming her country's commitment to supporting transparent and peaceful elections. The ambassador was at the time speaking at the Private Sector Commission's annual general meeting. Theriot stressed on the importance of U.S. interest in the region and political stability.
We are also focused on promoting regional stability and energy security, which truly makes Guyana our perfect partner. We greatly value our strong working relationship with the government and, of course, the private sector, including the PSC, and remain committed to working with you to promote a transparent, predictable regulatory environment that welcomes U.S. and international investment.
Ambassador Theriot said U.S. investors are particularly concerned about political and civil unrest in Guyana, especially pre- and post-elections.
But investment requires more than just a favorable business climate. By far, the two most common concerns that we hear from U.S. companies looking at potentially investing or working in Guyana are political and civil unrest, especially surrounding elections, and Venezuela.
The diplomat referenced the 2020 elections as a testimony of the U.S.'s commitment to upholding democratic values.
Regarding elections, both the United States Embassy and the PSC demonstrated our commitment to peace, justice, and transparency in the aftermath of the 2020 elections. We learned valuable lessons that we will apply this year to help ensure elections are free and fair, and the people of Guyana can trust the electoral process.
Government spokesperson Vice President Barra Jagdeo had disclosed that the next general elections will likely be held in November of 2025. President Irfan Ali said that a date for this year.
And looking further afield, the suspect accused of shooting and killing two Israeli embassy staff members at a Wednesday night event in Washington, D.C. was mistaken for a witness by security. Jojo Kellin, who organized the American Jewish Committee event at the Capitol Jewish Museum, said she saw the attacker inside the building looking very distraught after the shooting. Police have named the suspect as a 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, who is now in custody. Mr. Rodriguez is accused of fatally shooting Yaron Lishinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgrim, who both worked at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C.
At around 9:07, we heard gunshots, and then a guy came in looking really distressed, and we thought that he just needed help.
He was experiencing violence or something
and
outside.
He just needed safe shelter, so he comes in. And
so people were calming him down, bringing him water, taking care of him. Little did we know he was somebody that executed people in cold blood.
He was the shooter?
He was a
shooter.
He was
the shooter, yeah.
Once the police originally showed up, he's like, I did this, I'm unarmed. He pulls out a red keffiyeh and he's like, I did this for Gaza, free Palestine. There's only one solution, Intifada revolution. And he just kept yelling, free Palestine.
And And finally, on the international scene, House Republicans have passed a sweeping multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package, a narrow victory for President Donald Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson after weeks of negotiations with conservative holdouts. Trump's big, beautiful bill passed with a vote of 215 up against 214, with 2 Republicans joining Democrats to oppose it and 1 voting present. It now heads to the Senate, which will have the chance to approve or change provisions of that bill. The U.S. president's allies on Capitol Hill have celebrated its passage as a victory, with Johnson saying it gets Americans back to winning again. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. Cricket dominates this morning, and local cricket, that is. The final matches of the 2025 GCIC Intersector Windball Cricket Competition is set for today, Friday, May 23rd, at the Montrouge playing field. After several weeks of intense competition and camaraderie among sectors, the competition reaches its exciting conclusion with 2 thrilling matchups. Third place playoff sent SGU versus Creative Blazers, that's at 4:30 p.m. And the final match, Teachers go up against Hospital at 6:30 p.m. The Teachers team, last year's runners-up, are back in the finals and determined this time to claim the championship title. Their opponents, the Hospital team, have shown impressive form throughout the competition and are ready to challenge for the top spot. This event promises to be an entertaining evening of windball cricket, and members of the public are invited to attend. Admission is free, and supporters are encouraged to come out in their numbers and cheer on their teams. The Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the GCIC, has been the event's organizer and extend appreciation to all participating teams, match officials, sponsors, and supporters who made the competition a huge success. That's all the sport we've got at this time. There will be more sports in our luncheon edition and our primetime newscast. Stay with us. The weather forecast is up next, followed by a recap of the headlines.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Weather forecast. We join forecaster Andre Charles at the forecast desk at the MBIA. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you and to listeners of general public. And here's weather for today, Friday, 23rd of May, 2025. Currently, the weather is partly cloudy. Winds are from the east at 16 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 16.1 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature 28.1 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 80%. Yesterday's maximum temperature 31.9 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum 27.8 degrees Celsius. No rainfall was recorded over the past 24 hours. Hence, the total for the month remains at 43.9 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast for today and tonight. Today we expect some partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times conditions with occasional showers, mainly during the morning. Maximum temperature 31.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 7 feet in open waters. Tides are currently low, high at 11:45 a.m. and low at 5:30 p.m. Sunsets today at 6:27, rises tomorrow at 5:41. Just a repeat of the forecast for today and tonight. Partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with occasional showers, mainly during the morning. Maximum temperature 31.5 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting from the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andre. Have yourself a wonderful day and a great restful weekend, yeah?
Thanks, and same to you.
All right, folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
It's 2 minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news. A recap of the headlines. A busy hurricane season expected as forecasters fear Trump's cuts. In the region, U.S. Ambassador to Guyana reaffirms commitment to transparent and peaceful elections. Internationally, a U.S. Jewish museum shooting suspect is mistaken for a witness. And in sports, excitement today, this afternoon, as the final matches in the GCIC Intersector Windball Cricket Competition bowls off at the Montrouge playing field. And you know the first match is going to start at 4:30 p.m. I'm backing the teachers this afternoon, but I believe hospital will win. Now that has been the morning edition of news for today, Friday, May 23rd, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening and viewing, wishing you a productive day, a blessed, safe weekend, and yet still extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, simply because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Are you uncertified and currently selling or planning to sell food during Spice Mass 2025? Or are you already working in the food industry? If you are, then this message is for you. The Ministry of Health invites all food vendors, from street food sellers and pop-up vendors to caterers, school vendors and hospitality workers, to attend the Food Handlers Training and Certification Sessions. St. George, June 4th and 5th at the Ministry of Works Conference Room. St. David and St. Andrew, June 17th and 18th at a venue to be announced. This essential training is designed to keep your food safe and your customers healthy. Register by email at environhealthgd@gmail.com. Be sure to include your name, parish address and contact number, or call us at 440-2649 or 440-3485 for more information. Don't miss this opportunity to get certified. This message is brought to you by the Environmental Health and Health Promotion Department's Ministry of Health.
If you're 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
Heritage Theatre presents Breaking Out, the Grenada Love Story, featuring Robert White and Lisa Grappi, written and directed by Christy Riggs.
But I still love you, Richie.
You love me and you're hard in me.
4 big performances, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th May at the Grenada Trade Center, Saturday 31st May and Sunday 1st June at Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime 7 p.m. sharp.
He's the love of my life, Auntie. You have to marry a man for other things besides love, child.
Get your tickets at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grandance, Gittins Health and Wellness Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. David Pharmacy, St. Andrew Pharmacy, Art and Soul Boutique at Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, and GoToFed.com. Breaking Out. Come out and enjoy Grenadian theater at its best.
This ad complements Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's Plain Field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th, so don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you there.
Attention all divers, snorkelers, and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grandand, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Good Good morning and welcome to the conversation this morning. It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock and it's so good to be with you on the conversation this morning. This morning I'm joined by my good friend, Mr. Francis Noel. He's the Acting Pest Control Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture. I got it right?
Pest Management.
Pest Management, right. Pest Management Officer, acting. Okay, welcome to the program, and it's a good thing to have you back because when I had you earlier in the year, it was to do with this scary thing that people started getting so concerned about, the millipedes, the red millipedes, the little ones that we were seeing. And it's good to have you back to have an update from the ministry's perspective. How are things going?
Well, let me say pleasant good morning to you and to your listeners and viewers. From the ministry's standpoint, we are just taking calls and advising our people, like, what they can do, because we also plan to do a program pretty soon with some shots and videos and stuff to kind of get people accustomed to seeing it, because we realize one of the
you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and one of the biggest problems when people see it is like it's a kind of shock, because you're accustomed seeing, we are accustomed with our millipedes, but we don't accustomed seeing this red, rusty.
Right. For people who might not be so au fait with the scientific name millipede, we're talking about Congory.
Congory.
Yes.
Our local terminology. So we're not accustomed to seeing it. So some people, when they see it, it gives them the creeps.
Right.
It's like, where this thing come from? Is it harmful? Is it dangerous? Is it harmful to my pets? Like somebody called sometime last week, and he was like, where you come from? And stuff like that. And he was questioning, and he said, well, he doesn't even kill the local congery. But this one, no, he's trying to figure out what is going on with it, because the color is different, and stuff. And he have dogs, he have pets, so you don't know if it's poisonous to his pets and stuff, if it's poisonous to humans, beings and stuff like that. So we just decided that we need to do a little PR in terms of informing and continue to keep our populace up to date with what is going on. And what we are doing as the pest management, we're tasked with pest control in the Ministry of Agriculture. So basically we are here to just to give some information and to inform the public that, after a while people get used to it. It's not a big problem, because I tell you, it's the initial sighting of it that creates this shock and the discomfort. But after people see it for a period of time, like in Point Saline,
it becomes common as such.
Yeah, definitely. It becomes like, seeing all local congery, So it is not known to be toxic to humans or to pets, but it can cause skin irritation if you come into contact with it by the secretions.
That's a defense mechanism that they use.
That's a defense mechanism that they use to protect themselves, against predators and stuff like that. So it could cause some discomfort, but it's not toxic or poisonous as far as we know. And research has been done, a lot of research have been done into them. So it is a known fact that they're not really harmful to human beings. They can be a nuisance. And some people would have different experiences with them, because the environment is new and they're trying to settle in. So you'll find that we have reports from Jangley, we had reports from St. Paul's. Well, it is in Hope in St. Andrew, because the movement of material, from Point Saline up to that side has, given them a presence there. In Black Bay, one of the gentlemen who have a farm, he brought up some pen manure and stuff from down in the south, and he brought them up on his farm in the manure. So the residents around there was very traumatized, So what we want to tell our folks is that you have to be vigilant. Areas that don't have it, you can try as much as possible by being vigilant. In terms of your vehicle, where you park your vehicle. When you come, you can do just a quick inspection to make sure that They are no hitchhikers, because if you give them a free ride,
they'll take it.
They will take it. You know,
and they're like a certain population, a certain native in the world. Wherever they go, they multiply quickly.
They multiply quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so once on that, they can establish themselves very, very quickly, because they lay so many eggs. The eggs hatch and the little ones start moving about. So you don't even notice them, and they molts until they get into the adult stage, and then they repeat the cycle and the process again. So now is the rainy season, and they love moist, cool areas, because they basically feed on rotting organic matter. That's where they like to be. That's where you will find them most of the time. So under your flower pots, you have leaves and rotting organic matter in your yard. Like you cut the yard and you throw the grass and thing in the corner there to rot down. That's where you're going to find them.
Would you find them between the leaves of your cabbages?
No, you hardly find them between there, because they love moisture and they love rotting organic matter. So while you will find them even under the debris.
Right, but not in the leaves. Because I know sometimes you cut a cabbage and our local Congo would find it in the exterior leaves.
Yeah. Sometimes they, maybe they just looking to hide or shelter from some,
the sun or something.
Or something, looking for cooler areas, because they can't control their body temperature. So they always try to hide and try, look for the cool areas. One of the things we notice with them is that they tend to like to get into homes. Yeah, they always they are trying to get in. So what we do, we try to encourage folks who can seal up the house to make sure all the cracks and crevices where they can crawl through, they can seal them off to make sure that they have no entry to come in. For people who can't do that, well, you have to be, be vigilant and you can keep your house dry, free of moisture, even your yard and stuff. Like if you are runoff something, they try to control the runoff in terms of the water and stuff like that, because they will be attracted to it. They love moisture, and they try to they're attracted to that. Most of the time they get into the houses, they don't last that long, because once they get in, the conditions are right for them, they will just
die out.
Yeah.
But let me ask this: are there any benefits from them? Is there any positive to them?
Yeah, but their place in the ecosystem is well documented, because they feed on decaying organic matter, so they help to break down and add fertility back to the soil.
Okay.
So their role in the ecosystem is well documented. They are not even though they came into Grenada, they are not considered an invasive species in the sense of invasive, because they are not a pest or plant quarantine importance to us.
Okay.
But it's a nuisance, because they don't destroy crops and they do not create any adverse effect for us in terms of agriculture. They're just a nuisance to householders.
The sight of
them.
Scary.
It's scary.
For me, it's like this, what we call the serpent, the snake. That's my nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even sometimes like the centipedes and the scorpions and stuff. Some people get the creeps out of them as well too.
Yeah.
So these are things that our folks need to be aware of, and we also need to be, vigilant, because even around our homes, we always have stuff that we want to discard, but we live in the corner. We say we'll get rid of that another time.
Yeah.
There are stones. There are so many different things. Even like our plants, the leaves fall. It's still under the tree. So they have a lot of places that they could.
So maybe one of the good of it is that it could be a motivator for people who like to leave their place dirty. If you don't want to see it, you keep your place clean.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. But if you don't have a problem seeing them, or you don't have an issue with them, then fine. But if you know that you'll be scared of them and stuff like that, you try and keep your surrounding as clean as possible.
Because the most important factor here to me, and I hope that's how people see it as well, is that it's not poisonous, it's not harmful in any way, to say destroying crops and animals. There's a little positive to it. It assists in decomposing and so forth. So it's just a matter of getting your sight accustomed to it.
Definitely. And you see, and more knowledge you have of it, it puts you at an advantage, because if you don't know, then you will panic, you'll be worried, what is this? So that's the reason why information dissemination is so important. Right. So once you have the knowledge, then when you see them, you could just stamp on them.
Yeah.
Just, wherever they come out, you go and search to see if you see any more there, because, they lay the eggs in the rotten organic matter. When they hatch, the little ones come out and they just molt. So, in the space of maybe about 4-5 weeks, even less than that, if my memory serves me right, they will molt into the adult stage. Yeah.
But they're not as long as our known Congoria or the millipede, what we call it. They're not as big. So they don't get bigger than
they don't get bigger than what we see.
Okay.
And the life cycle is pretty, is pretty short.
What's the life cycle?
After they would start laying maybe about 3 or 4 weeks.
They die?
Yeah, because even when they come into your home, as soon as they reach inside and realize the condition, they just dry out and they just
falling up.
Yeah, just falling up. Yeah, because they need moisture.
Yes.
And inside your home, they wouldn't find that amount of moisture to keep them, comfortable. So they will just fall up and die,
Well, I'm happy that the ministry has kept us abreast with what's going on with that so-called scary millipede. Nothing to worry about. In terms of control, well, not control, but eradication, are there any chemicals or so that can be used to treat them? Any specific chemicals that we can use to eradicate them?
Well, we trying to move away from the inorganic traditional pesticide that we used before. People have been using all sorts of things. They've been using gas. They have been using Sevin, Malathion, anything that they can get their hands on, But we try to promote the use of the slugs bait.
Slugs bait.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. That's some metal. Yeah. Once you put it where you're seeing them, once they crawl over it and they expose the underbelly.
That's it.
Yeah, they will just the chemical will just get in and disable them. But any one of the insecticide that we have on the shelves could work against them. We just have to be careful that we don't get it into our water system. Because some of them can be toxic to fishes and bees and stuff like that.
So is this a good opportunity to promote, generally speaking, the use of organic pesticides?
Well, yes, because you have like the neem products, Numectin, Bioneem, Nemex. These are organics that we have been promoting, we have been using against the cotton scales and the blight, and we have been getting excellent results. They are not killing our natural enemies, those that are preying on the cotton scales, but they take care of the adults, they kill the adults. So that's what we're trying to promote. Even our biopesticide, the use of other organisms to attack organisms that create pest problems, and also insects, because we have about 3 or 4 farmers up at Paul's. They had a leafhopper infestation, which we believe might be a new pest that we would have encountered after burial.
Okay.
Yeah, and it started destroying the farmers' okras and cucumbers, beans, and we did some trials with them, and they have been getting excellent results.
Okay.
Yeah, because they are realizing increased yields. They have the crops growing right alongside, where they solve the problem, and they just follow the treatments that is recommended, and they have been getting very, very, very good results. So we want to do some promotion in terms of getting other farmers on board
with the organic pesticide.
Yeah.
That's important. I mean, if people understand the dangers of the inorganic ones, they would easily gravitate towards the organic, because it's less hazardous to our soil and the ecosystem by extension. But I must also commend the Ministry of Agriculture on this, because way up in the mountain in Mount Agnes, 2 weeks ago, I saw this van coming up when I was coming down, and I said, well, only me and monkeys that has been up here. They say, no, we're setting some traps for the coconut beetle. And I was like, oh, that's impressive to come. Usually you would find them not coming up that far up in the hills. So it means that you all are at work.
Yeah, because remember, we have the the food security program that we are doing now, agronomy and extension. And being pest management is our job to ensure that whatever they bring in, whatever they establish, that we protect it from the pests. So we have close to about 13,000 seed nuts that will be coming early next month. Once they come in, we're going to germinate them. And once they germinate and stuff, we get it out to farmers. Okay. But we can't be giving farmers, and when they go out there, the weevil is killing it. Yeah. So that's the reason why, the
nip
guys,
it in the bud.
Yeah, the guys are doing a beautiful job.
I mean, I am not certain if everything about the Ministry of Agriculture is commendable, right? Honestly, but that aspect of it, I was impressed knowing the distance that they traveled off-road to come up in the mountains, and gentlemen searching to an appropriate place to tie the bucket and things like that. Yeah. So I was like, "What are you doing up here?" And he said, "Oh, we just setting trap for the coconut beetle," and that was good stuff. I wish this approach could be adopted by other aspects of the ministry, like the livestock and them thing and so forth, the veterinary department and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of constraints within the Ministry of Agriculture in terms of personnel, in terms of human resources. That's a constraint that we have to work with. It's a policy. Well, policies that was adopted years ago is still being, still affecting the ministry, because there's a cap on terms of employment within the ministry, within the government.
But this is a period of transformation, so transform it.
And that's what the aim. I think that's what the aim is, but it's not an overnight fix, because there are a lot of things that have to go into place, and a lot of assessments, because then you have the bigger things of the financials, what financial implication you have on the ministry, on the government, on the budgetary allocations and stuff like that. So I think, given resources that we have, we are trying, and the guys are really, doing the best they can. Even in terms of the different crops, like you have pineapples, you have cassava, you have coconuts, you have bananas, and they are looking to increase the production, because when production increases, that tends to drive prices down.
And not only that, whether we like it or not, that's hence the reason why I keep saying that I want the powers that be prioritized on spending, invest in areas that is really going to secure us, because this fella in the US is not making joke. And the tariffs and so forth, it's so important. Earlier in the week, I had a conversation with the gentleman from the Ambassador Aaron Moses and his counterpart from St. Lucia, Prevail or something. And we were talking about the CSME, and it's important that we in the region, because we have what it takes. If the region really comes together, very minimal importation will have to be taking place from outside. So it's important that the priority be given.
Can you say we get so dependent on this importation of, we always have to be out there getting something from outside.
We have what it takes. I don't know about you, my favorite food is blogger. What we call blogger. What's the scientific name for blogger?
Well, it's Musa. The Musa species.
Right. Yeah. Blogger, green banana or fig. And saltfish and egg. Yeah. I don't need macaroni pie and pasta and this thing. And that is.
And everybody could see you walking by just looking at you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it's important, really, that priority focus be given on food security for not just Grenada, but collaboratively for the region.
The region, yeah.
We have to, because the things that people have become addicted to and dependent on as food stuff, there will be the time coming when they won't be able to pay for it.
No, definitely, because you look at as you see what is happening in the US now. Everything is being cut, and there's a serious disparity between agriculture and medicine. Over 90% of our food comes from plants and agriculture. But how much is being spent on research, even agriculture? All the research is being done in medicine. You know, and you know, if you eat properly,
you don't have to go to the medicine. So they put in the cart in front of the horse.
Because, you know, it's a money-making thing for the guys.
That's why my friend Bernie Sanders always beat up on the pharmaceuticals, because they're the ones turning billionaires by exploiting people through medicine, and whereas not much emphasis is being placed on preventative methods.
Exactly, you know, and providing wholesome food, because, and hence the reason why we also encourage use of biopesticide, because these are organisms that you find in our environment that does not harm us.
Yeah.
So all we do, we just concentrate it and we put it in an area where it will fight against the other organisms that are harmful and causing problem to our crop. So you don't have to wait a week. You don't have to wait 2 weeks to harvest your crop, because farmers unfortunately have a habit of spraying their crops because they need to control a pest, but then they hate to see, or they hate to lose that harvest, or hate to lose that income, so they will harvest the
prematurely and put humans at risk.
At risk,
put humans at risk.
Yeah, so it's you know, it's a problem for us, you know, in terms of healthy foods, and also it damages our environment.
Okay,
you know.
All right, so well, we've exhausted our time, because I have the members from the Kellen Baptiste Foundation coming up next, and but is there anything you thought we left out?
No, I think we hoping to do some programs, you know, in the coming weeks, to more or less, you know, as I say, continually sensitization program with the populace, and also to let them know what we are doing in terms of trying to protect the crops that we are coming with, and we're trying to get everybody on board, householders, farmers, everybody, so everybody be a part of what is happening and the success that the Ministry of Agriculture, you know, will be enjoying.
Well, as you know, GBN is always open for any of this sort of dissemination of information scenarios. So, and let's make it a habitual thing ever so often, you know, drop by and let because the people want to know, because where there is no knowledge, people say all kind of things, you know, so let the people know that. I mean, I was able to talk about it because I saw you guys.
Yeah.
You understand? But there might be people who don't know. So it's important that, you know, you update the population on what's going on, and continue doing your miraculous job with your limited resources in terms of personnel and finance and so forth. Keep on doing what you're doing. Grenada depends on you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And, you know, I'd just like to say good morning to the members of the staff of the Pest Management Unit and the Ministry of Agriculture and a whole, you know. I hope everybody has a great day, including you.
Yes, yes. Bring my regards to my good friend, Mr. Thaddeus Tico Peters. Right?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I should see him today.
Yes, definitely. All right, folks, I've been speaking with Mr. Francis Noel. He is the Acting Pest Management Officer at the Ministry of Agriculture. And again, do not panic when you see the red millipedes, all right? They're harmless, okay? I'm not telling you to love them up. If you want to love them up, but they're not harmless. And you heard all the constraints that they have. They cannot deal with the heat and so forth. And if you are going to use chemicals, use organic. Find out the organic treatment for them and other pests and so forth. That's it for this segment, folks. We take a commercial break. When we come back, we have the members from the Kellen Baptiste Foundation talking with us. We'll be back after this.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Sporting fans, ready yourselves for the most anticipated Winston Tide Games, June 7th and 8th at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium. Come support our athletes as they compete with some of the region's best in the field events and on the tracks. Save the date, June 7th and June 8th, Winston Tide Games at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium. Stay tuned for more info. Winston Tide Game 2025.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Heritage Theatre presents Breaking Out, the Grenada Love Story, featuring Robert White and Lisa Grappi, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs.
But I still love you, Richie.
You love me and you're hard in me.
4 big performances, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th May at the Grenada Trade Center, Saturday 31st May and Sunday 1st June at Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime 7 p.m. sharp.
He's the love of my life, Auntie. You have to marry a man for other things besides love, child.
Get your tickets at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grand Anse, Gittins Health and Wellness Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmota, St. David Pharmacy, St. Andrew Pharmacy, Art and Soul Boutique at Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, and GoToFed.com. Breaking Out. Come out and enjoy Grenadian theater at its best.
This ad complements Classic Lighting Caribbean.
Grenada, the road to greatness continues. Catch the senior men's national team live at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium for 2 thrilling football clashes. Saturday, May 31st, it's a fiery international friendly as Grenada takes on Anguilla, just $20 admission. Then on Wednesday, June 4, it's our FIFA World Cup qualifier versus the Bahamas, $25 admission. Both matches kick off at 7 p.m. sharp. Come dressed, come loud, come proud. Style your national team, bring your posters, and show the world you are the 12th man. Let's pack the stadium, flood the stands, and roar together. Get your tickets now at the official GFA ticket outlets, GoToFed.com, or at the gate. Let's stand proud with Team Grenada. One island, one team, one goal.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. It's 21 minutes on to 8 o'clock. And as promised, I've got with me at this time Mr. Kyron Baptiste.
Yes, sir.
All right, and is representing the Kellon Baptiste Foundation. And with him this morning is another very important, high-level son of the soil, Mr. Brandon Bain.
Right.
He's one of the leading coaches of female basketball. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't dare to try to extend his accolades. I'd give him the opportunity to do that. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome again, Mr. Batiste.
Thank you. I feel like I have shares in this place because I'm here almost twice a year doing an interview with you.
Come on, it's the pleasure. I mean, someone like you, if I can have you every day of the week, I'll have you with me.
Oh, really? Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's how honored I am to be in your company. How has it been for the Batiste Foundation, the Kellon Batiste Foundation, since we spoke?
I mean, it's been going really, really good. We are trying to keep doing what we're doing in terms of developing players and young athletes. So we are starting with the second year of our basketball development camp. We did it last year, and we saw how transformative the camp was for the players, the young players. They want to run it back again this year. So this year we have added the girls component to the camp. So we will have 12 girls in the camp this year. We have interest from about 20 girls, but we're going to have the other girls come and just watch so they can observe the training.
For this year?
For this year, yeah.
And next year they'll be participants.
Exactly. So we have 20 boys and 12 girls, and we're going to be doing this camp for 5 days this year.
5 days?
Yeah, last year it was 3 days, and they asked that they want this to be longer, so we decided to do 5 days this year.
Okay. Now, before we get into the intricacies of the sessions, I want to bring on our distinguished guests this morning. Not like you're not distinguished too, but distinguished guests. Mr. Bain, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is mine. I feel honored to be in your company this morning. Before we get into the coaching and the training, I want a backdrop of who you really are. I thought you were foreign, but you're local, which makes it even more interesting. So give us a background on Mr. Bain.
Let me see. I'm Grenadian, 100%.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Went to GBSS, played for GBSS, and played for Karen Arch, coached by Coach Drummond, Nigel McKee. Played for Grenada for a couple of years, senior national team, coached by Paul McIntyre and Naka Joseph.
Okay.
Different players. Let me see what else. I think for basketball, that's it in a nutshell in terms of Grenada.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you migrated and you continued your prowess in basketball.
Yes. I actually took a hiatus, but I still stayed within the game. I actually worked with Carnival Cruise Lines for about 10 years. And one of my players, because I used to coach at PBC too, Presentation Brothers College. One of my players actually went to Kingsborough in, what's his name again? Wilbur Thomas. So in those days, every time I get into New York, I would tell him, let him know I'm here. He comes, picks me up. I go watch the practices. He works out, and then after practice, we have another workout. So I became familiar with Kingsborough for a number of years, even prior to me deciding to go back to school.
Okay.
Right. So that was kind of when it was a time to make a decision to go back to school. I was like, let me just get in there because I know the coaching staff, and it was a seamless transition.
Okay. And that decision led you into becoming coach at that school? Yeah.
So actually started to work with the men's team in 2008-2009 season. We actually went back-to-back city champs for those couple of years, and then we had a new AD a couple of years after, and he asked me to start working with the girls, just to see if we could rebuild the program. It's hard work, but it's been fruitful so far. It's been good.
So you're coming to Grenada to run that 5-day training camp. You must have done some sort of assessment of the basketball arena in Grenada, the fraternity, especially with the young ones. What are your thoughts on basketball? Firstly, generally, and then secondly, the possibility of us getting stars, female players.
Wow, that's a loaded question. However, unfortunately, I don't want to sound biased, but when we played, I think the standard was way better.
Okay, in your era?
In my
era. Which was in the early 80s?
Well, mine was kind of later 90s, mid-90s, late 80s. So you had the likes of Cyril Cox, Ulrich Schoon, Kenroy John, Pickin Wendell St. Louis, Juan Bulb, Andy McQuilkin, rest in peace Jericho, rest in peace Abdul Skudus, that's Jolly, Coach Jolly Stevens. All right. You had Hess Charles, you had Ishak, you had Dave McKay, rest in peace. I try not to forget names, but you had a nice echelon of players. We had a guy from St. Andrews called Bragat.
Yeah, Bragat is still around.
Right. Oh. We had another guy from St. Andrews called I think it was Hamilton. He reminded me of Spud Webb. He could have really jump. You had what's his name again? A shooter. We used to call him Monkey Head. Sorry, I don't remember his right name. We had teammates of mine now, like Brian Sally. We call him John Pemberton. Godfrey Best, Ramon Steele, Osbert Thomas. You know, from Grenada, you had people like Andre Theodore, Dancing, Mouse. Sorry for the nicknames, but you had like a really, really like upper echelon group of players, you know, that were, to me, elite.
Okay.
Some of them I used to go sit. Like, for example, one of the best ball handlers or dribblers I've ever seen was a guy called Mouse from Grenada. So I would go and sit and watch him dribble. I remember he put the ball between his leg behind the back and had two people collide. Right? You only see that maybe in N1 or in the NBA sometimes, right? But I think the level of players that we had were way better. You could even go back too, because I played a little bit with rest in peace, not Bessie, Flyers, right? The Redhead brothers from Back Street, they were really good too. But we looked at those players, even Super. Buggies, rest in peace. You know, we used to call him the Colonel, a shooter, great guy. So we had a better crop of players.
Why do you think so? Because if we were looking progressively, one would think that the infrastructure and the administrative capacity and so forth would have improved or should have improved, therefore should be able to produce a better cadre of players. But you're saying there's regression. What do you think is the cause of that?
Well, one of the things, right, when we won mark me, right, I'm saying we, but I was like 11 or 12 in 1986. We had a coach here called Mark Muller, right, and Cyril, Brim, Tiggis, Hess, Buckram, Andre Theodore again, I think Dancing and Mouse was on that team as well. Tiki Livingston, right? If I forget, Ulrich Schoon was on that team too. We beat Antigua in Tantine, right? And basketball was trending up at that time. You had the likes of Mohawk Steele. I think he might have been the president, or I know for sure he was an executive member. You had the Archibald brothers. You Pointy and I don't remember his other name, and you also had Mr. Noel Smallies. So you had a group of people, right, that had basketball at heart. And I'm not throwing shade on anybody right now, right? I'm just saying that those people had a different structure, a totally different approach to the development of the game. Because I came up under these people.
All right. So somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I mean, to Brennan's point.
Come in, yeah.
Brennan's point, we have not, over the last 20 years, we have not done anything really from a development perspective in basketball. To me, basketball has regressed, right? And we need to bridge that gap right now. And that's why we are doing this camp where we can look at the young athletes and give them that encouragement to go into train and invest in themselves. Because we got to get back to where we used to be, as Brendan said. Basketball had at a higher level back in the 90s and even early 2000s.
Okay.
So what happened?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah, what happened? Where did it, where went wrong?
Where did it fall apart?
Yeah. So the camp is really trying to get us back to the basic and fundamentals, right? So we're going to have a cadre of coaches coming into Grenada. We have Coach Gary Maitland. He trains NBA players, and he's a high-performing coach in the UK. We have retired NBA player Ethan Thomas and his son Malcolm Thomas. We have Coach Aaron Thomas coming from Texas, and we have our two athletes from the foundation. So the category of coaches and players coming to help this camp is tremendous, and the goal is to get these kids trained, upskilled, and ready for scholarships.
Okay, so the foundation is not only bringing in the coaching personnel and training and so forth, but it goes a step further. When you get them to that level where they are able to be seen, then you seek scholarships for them outside.
Absolutely. We look for the best, right? We train the best. So once we see a talent in a young kid, he's going to be transferred to Coach Paul McIntyre, and he's going to invest in him, train him, whether it's once a week, twice a week, and get them ready, because it takes a balanced or young athlete to get a scholarship. We want the best athlete. We don't want to send you out there if you don't have that will and that desire to play. When I ask you, do you really want this done? We can help you. And in selecting your prospects, are you going to look at the academic performance as well? Absolutely. You have to have strong academics. Currently, our two athletes, Inel and Akinde, they made the president's list in academics in the last semester. So these guys are doing well both on the court and off the court. And so we want you to have strong academics. You're not going to send you out there if that's not your focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thus far, because you've just spoken about two of your athletes, how many athletes locally have you gotten onto scholarships already?
Well, so far we have two. That's the same two. The same man, Akinyere. Right. But this year we're looking at Michael Checkley. He plays with the Tornadoes. So he's very impressive. He's what he does on the court, but he needs work. So we can work with him and see how we can get him, to join the college also.
A quick question: to accomplish all that you've accomplished and continues to do, funding. How do you get funding?
Yes, I mean,
does money answereth to all things?
A lot of personal sacrifices have been made to get this off the ground and to get this going. But this year we have engaged the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and Honorable Delma Thomas have committed to helping us with that part of funding. And her vision and her what she has in mind to develop the sport, is very impressive. I saw the synergies. I saw the way she was thinking about, how can she raise the level of sports in general in Grenada. Right. I love to hear that. So I think we can work together and do some collaboration.
So is it safe to say that the Kellon Baptist Foundation is primarily basketball?
No, it's not. People always ask me the question. Kellon was a football player.
Yes, right. Best goalkeeper I've known. After Paul Roberts.
After Paul Roberts, okay. Yes, because Paul was his coach also at one point.
Paul Roberts.
No, we do basketball, football, and track and field. Okay. It just happened that the two talents for basketball, they were ready to go. Okay. So we didn't want to lose out on that. So we just jump on them. But yes, we'll be looking at football players. The GFA is doing a lot already, so let them keep doing what they're doing. They are doing a great job of
Marlon and his team.
They do. I mean, I'm so impressed with what they're doing. The grassroots program, the investment in these young kids. Every weekend you see something's going on with them. That's what we need in basketball. We need to invest, go back to those grassroots programs for basketball, because right now it's absent. There is nothing going on right now for basketball in terms of grassroots program. Invest in those programs.
Okay. All right. I'm impressed with the fact that you're able to bring in so many high-profile coaches and personnel from outside of Grenada. Are they making any personal sacrifices to get here?
Oh yeah, Coach Gary trains NBA players and players playing in Europe, and he has to take a week off schedule to come to Grenada to train our young athletes. So obviously, that's a big sacrifice for him, and his interest in showing how he wants to develop these players is amazing. Okay. It's amazing. He wants to come here every year. So I'm hoping that we can do this thing every year through good funding, and get it done.
Okay. Coach Bain, from your observation thus far, do you think that we have the level of interest from our female players that can get them up to that level where they can be under the microscope for scholarships as well?
I think so. There's one player that I've been hearing about for the last year. Every time I come home, I think Diamond is a kid that goes to McDonald College.
Oh, my alma mater.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Saltando Alta Petimas. In the north, we aim high things. So maybe that's why she aims high and plays basketball.
She's
so
good. Well, she will be special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good news.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about her and her potential.
Yeah.
Right to the ceiling. So it's just a matter of instilling the work ethic. Right. There's certain things in basketball. I call them prayers that you must do every day.
Okay.
Right. So I was always blessed to have great coaches, right? Whether it was my shooting coach or my dribbling coach, Jolly Stephen used to work a lot with me. Jericho, Anthony Greenwich used to work a lot with me on my conditioning and strength, having me running Market Hill 4:30 in the morning, right? And a couple other things too. Cyril Cox used to show me the little intricacies, how you come off screens ready to shoot, why you pump fake, why you jab, why you leave your dribble for your last option to help you escape out of a trap or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So it's a matter of learning and imparting that same experiences, that I have had to these kids and enabling them to believe in themselves. Because I can't believe in you and you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah, then it's a waste belief.
Yeah,
right.
Waste belief.
Very important. So, but let me talk about Diamond. So she comes down to the Grenada school every week to train with Coach Paul McIntyre. So already we've seen that interest there, that belief that she can do well, right? Yes, she needs some work, but I think Coach Paul is going to get her ready for next year. Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time. So quick final question. Can we see the Kellen Baptiste Foundation through its basketball arm be making strides to uplift the general basketball situation in Grenada?
Absolutely. And that's why we are doing these camps every year. We want to get back to where it used to be back in the 90s. We have lost it in basketball. I mean, that's just the reality. Right? There's no sugarcoating here. Basketball has regressed. So we brought in Brendan to work specifically with the girls, right? He specializes in working with the female basketball players, so he's going to get that interest going again and see how we can get these players ready and ready to go.
Okay. Parting words, Coach?
Thanks for having me. And hopefully, we'll have a Grenadian or two Grenadians in the WNBA.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That will be great news.
Yeah, that's the goal.
All right. And is 5 days really sufficient? Or that's what you can afford at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment, yes.
That's what you can afford.
Yeah.
Because school is still on session. I would have loved to see a summer camp.
Yeah.
Maybe a 6 weeks or so, which has the double sides to it.
Yeah.
They away from trouble while school is on vacation, and you give them a sort of holistic training. But if that's what the older folks say, half a loaf is better than none.
Yeah. I mean, these camps are expensive. These camps are not cheap. So, but we are trying to to get it done still, and with our partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Sports and some of the sponsors coming on board with us, we can get some things going.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not easy to put a camp like this together and get coaches of that caliber coming to Grenada on the busy schedule.
On behalf of the Grenada people, thank you for looking out for us. And we look forward to the successes that will be had from these initiatives. Because I'm saying these initiatives because I know there will be more to come.
Lots more.
Yeah. So continue doing, and the next time we're talking the football, right?
Football, yes. Okay. Football, yeah.
Folks, I have been speaking with Mr. Kyron Baptiste and Mr. Brendan Bain, and we're looking forward to that 5 days training for basketball, with specific emphasis on the female. Parents, guardians, encourage your children to, get in the right spots so that they can get selected and into that program, because there are long-term benefits to be derived.
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you for dropping by. We've got to go, but I wish you all the best as always.
Thank you very much.
GBN is your home, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
coming here.
A pleasure. Right. Folks, we'll be back with the BBC after this. Thank you. That's the conversation for this morning. And for being my listening and viewing audience, I thank you very much. See you on the flip side of 8.